Hey guys, I'm Mason, and this is Wrestling in the Dark, the only professional wrestling podcast brought to you by a blind wrestling fan. It's time for some more predictions. After the commentary nightmare that was Stomping Grounds last week, I'm ready for something different, and I'm looking forward to this next AEW pay-per-view that will be this Saturday. It's Fyter Fest, and I just can't wait to actually get to watch it. And this video is going to be my predictions. It's a triple threat match for the Wrestling in the Dark Predictions Championship between me, of course, Discord Zone, Gustavo Gama, and the man that has insisted that I name the man who should be the rightful WITD champion. It's the filthiest man in the land, Dirty Dan. Who will walk out with the WITD Predictions Championship? What will happen at AEW's Fyter Fest? Stick with me as I make my predictions, and we'll see how it all pans out. So the first match I wanted to get to is one that I'm not 100% clear on when it's happening, whether it's going to be on the pre-show or not, but we'll go with it anyway. It's going to be Kylee Ray versus Liv Abates with Peter Avalon, the Librarians. So this should be a fairly interesting one. You've got Kylee Ray, smiley Kylee Ray, the most sickly woman you've ever seen. She's sweeter than 6 galaxy bars all pressed together into one. But it should be fairly interesting to see what this match plays out like. It should be a little bit of a comedy match, just to get you eased in. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It was set up at Double or Nothing with with Kylee Ray having a backstage interview and the Librarians shushing her. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all plays out, and I'm interested to just get to see some more of these characters, really. So my prediction is Liv Abates, Dan's is smiley Kylee Ray, and Gus has been a clever boy and gone with me, and he is going with Liv Abates too. I'd usually do some fantasy booking here with these predictions. I usually do fantasy versus reality, but I don't know these people well enough to do fantasy booking, to be fair. Maybe a couple of months down the line after AEW has started the TV, I might be able to do it a little bit more, but right now I don't feel confident enough with the roster, so that's why I'm not going with that. It's just going to be straight predictions today. So that's me and Gus with Liv Abates, and Dan with smiley Kylee. This one's going to be a bit more of a short one because, to be honest, I don't know either of these guys. It's a hardcore match between Alex Jabali and Michael Nakazawa. Haven't really heard of either of them other than what I've seen of Nakazawa from the Double or Nothing show. I'm just, again, looking forward to getting exposed to some more talent, a different style. Even though I had a bit of a mixed feelings about Double or Nothing, I'm really looking forward to jumping back into this world, and I'm really looking forward to some different voices on commentary after the experience that I had with Stomping Grounds. So at this point, I really don't mind that I don't know anyone, because I'm just ready to have something a little bit different. This one, we've all gone for Michael Nakazawa, and yeah, it should be fairly fun just seeing how this all plays out with the hardcore match, etc, etc. I wish I had more to say on that one, but I've really never heard of either of them, so all three of us are in agreement with that one. A four-way match between MJF, Hangman Page, Jimmy Havoc and Jungle Boy. This one is probably one of my most anticipated ones. I've been trying to get myself into being the Elite. There's difficulties with that, with the musical breaks and stuff, but I'm getting a little bit more used to it, and I'm getting a bit more able to follow it along. So I've really been enjoying the interplay they've had between Hangman Page and MJF. The stuff on being the Elite on that last episode was really, really funny, with MJF getting a fake Hangman Page and telling his little assistant Walter to injure the knee of the fake Hangman and stuff. It was all really, really funny stuff. I'm very, very much getting to be a mark for MJF. He's just so good at his character work. I can't wait to see the type of matches that he can put together. So I'm really excited for this one, and Hangman as well. His retort to MJF, I was really into that as well. And Jungle Boy, I've seen a little bit of an interview with him with Chris Van Vliet, and then I've also seen the Being the Elite stuff with him and Luchasaurus. So between them all, I sort of feel like that I know these people a little bit more. I've heard of Jimmy Havoc before, and you don't really need to know any more than he's going to run wild with a staple gun. So I think this one's going to be an absolutely crazy match. It's one that I'm really, really torn on. I've been going backwards and forwards for ages, because there's sort of two ways that this can play out, because Hangman's got to take on Jericho, and you might want to give him the win, give him the momentum going into that match, but you also might want to have Hangman have something to do between now and then. So if MJF wins this match and steals the victory off Hangman, that might give them a reason to do Hangman MJF at Fight for the Fallen or something like that. So I think, even though I'm really, really tempted to go for Hangman Page, I'm going to stick with what I said. I don't want to do it just to be a contrarian. I was sort of tempted to go Hangman Page just because the other two have gone for MJF, but I'm going to stick with MJF because that's what I thought. If it was me, that's what I'd do. I'd have MJF win, steal the victory from Hangman and rub it in his face over the next few weeks, and then you can have them have a little match between now and All In, and I think that would be a nice little storyline, and it'd give us a reason to see like a singles match between those two. So yeah, I'm sticking with MJF, as are Gus and Dan. Christopher Daniels will be taking on Shima from the OVE contingent. Forgive me if I got that wrong, I'm pretty sure that it's OVE. This one is going to be another interesting one. It's going to be a telling tale, in my opinion, of how AEW is going to book things and whether they're going to do things sort of the way people think that they're going to. I've seen some of the stuff that Christopher Daniels has been doing on Being the Elite. I haven't really seen anything from Shima. I think that they did a BTE episode from China, I think, but I didn't get around to watching that. So this one is going to be an interesting one. I really have no idea about either of them. I've heard of Daniels, and obviously I haven't heard of Shima at all, other than the match that he was in Double or Nothing. So let's get to the actual predictions. Myself and Gus have gone for Shima, and Dirty Dan, I feel, has booked a little bit with his heart rather than his head, because I know that he's been a mark for Christopher Daniels in the past, and that's who he's gone for. So a bit of heart booking there rather than head, I think, from Dan, because I definitely think that they're going to want to put Shima over here, put that OVE talent over, and show why they're partnering with them. It's just a smarter decision, in my opinion, but we'll see how that plays out, Dan? A three-way match between Private Party, Best Friends and SCU for a chance to advance to All Out, where they compete for a first-round bye in the Tag Team title tournament. On Road to Fyter Fest, I saw the stuff that Private Party were doing, and that was pretty entertaining, quite insightful. Got to see a little glimpse at their chemistry and how good their friendship is. Obviously, Best Friends, they had their stuff at Double or Nothing and SCU too. So it's going to be fairly interesting. I'm assuming they'll all end up in the tag team tournament anyway. So either way, one of them's going to advance past that. Best Friends, I'm not sure. I don't feel like they really need like a bye, but just because of how strong their reputation is anyway. Same with SCU. So I think that it might give Private Party that extra rub if they were to win and go to All Out. So, yeah, I'm going with Private Party, and I'm the outlier here because the other two have gone with Best Friends. Looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Probably one of the ones that I'm most nervous for, just because there's going to be all that tagging and it's a three-way, and other than the four-way match, which hopefully will be a little bit easier to follow because it's at least only 4 people, this one might get a little bit complicated and the commentary might lose me, but I'm actually really looking forward to it because I enjoyed that Private Party stuff on Road to Fyter Fest, and the stuff that I've seen from Best Friends was pretty good too, and SCU, the little promo that they cut at Double or Nothing, I enjoyed, so I'm just looking forward to seeing more of all of them. So yeah, I'm going with Private Party, and the other two are going with Best Friends. A 3-way women's division match between Yuka Sakazaki, Rijo and Nyla Rose. Really looking forward to this one. I didn't feel like I got enough exposure through Double or Nothing to those Joshi wrestlers. I just really couldn't follow what was going on, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them in a bit of a smaller setting with just the 3 of them, as well as seeing Nyla Rose get a little bit more of a chance to shine with Awesome Kong not being there to overshadow her this time. I just really want to see what these 3 can do together. Again, a little bit worried about the commentary because it's more than just a singles match, but at this point I feel like I've seen some of the worst of the worst, so anything will be better than Stomping Grounds. I'm in agreement with Dan here. We're both going with Rijo, and Gus is going with Nyla Rose. I feel like I've gone for Rijo because I watched Being the Elite, BTE Mailbag. Kenny was putting over Rijo big time, talking about tagging with her, etc, etc. So I think that they were really trying to get you behind her. That association with Kenny, they're just really trying to maybe get you behind her and put her over. So I feel like they're probably going to go with her, but I've got a sneaky feeling that Gus also might be right, just because Nyla Rose didn't get that chance to shine last time, so they might want to give it to her this time. So yes, the solid predictions, me and Dan are going with Rijo, and Gus is going with Nyla Rose. Jon Moxley versus Joey Janella. This one is going to be one of the best matches of the night in my opinion, or at least it's my most anticipated match other than Cody versus Darby Allin. I'm really excited for this. I'm really into both characters. I really wanted to follow Moxley out on his new adventure, and that's meant some exposure to Joey Janella, who I've also been getting really into. The story of this match lends itself to Moxley being the winner in my opinion, and all 3 of us, me, Dan and Gus, are all in agreement that that is the case. I think that this one needs to be a brutal match. After all, Moxley has brought up the fact that Janella said that he wants to die in the ring, basically implying that he's going to kill him because he says that he's got no off switch and he doesn't give a damn about the ref's discretion or the health of his opponent, just really warning Janella about getting into a match with him. I really enjoyed Janella's retort back at him, where he was basically burying the Dean Ambrose character and making fun of Moxley for being in WWE in the first place, and saying that he's done things that would make Moxley's career look like child's play. Really reminiscent of like a Mick Foley kind of promo, that King Dewey promo. It really reminded me of that, and I'm just really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be brutal but really fun and captivating to watch, and I think it's going to have a really good story to it. So yeah, we're all in agreement on this one. It's Jon Moxley for the win. So from one of my most anticipated matches to probably the one that I'm most nervous about, I really struggled to keep up with the Young Bucks and Lucha Bros match last time, and I'm just really nervous about this one because it's you've got even more people. It's the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Laredo Kid and the Lucha Brothers. And like I said, there's an extra 2 people in this match than there was last time, and I just think that this will be the one that loses me. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's going to be an amazing match. Probably what many people will say it was the match of the night after the fact, but it is definitely the one that I'm the most nervous about, and I really didn't know where to go with it either, since Bucks and Lucha Bros have traded wins back and forth. I think that Dan and Gus are right with this one, because I think that they're going to want to give Kenny and the Bucks the win, and that's what those two have gone with. I definitely think that they would want to put over Kenny and the Bucks, especially with it being Kenny's first appearance. It will really put over the fact that he and the Bucks have great chemistry and are great at tagging together, and I'm really looking forward to seeing their chemistry. But I am going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that it'll be the Lucha Brothers to carry on the little story of the crisis of confidence that they seem to have maybe teased with Matt Jackson. Watching Being the Elite, they had the little clip of them in the airport waiting for the flight, and Matt had been watching their match with the Lucha Brothers over and over and over again, trying to figure out what they did wrong. So either they're going to go with, they studied and managed to find a way to beat them, or they might carry on that little story and have him have some sort of crisis of confidence, etc, etc. So I'm going to go with the Lucha Bros, and Dan and Gus are going for the Elite. Cody versus Darby Allin. Now, this one will be really, really interesting, won't it? Because Cody's drawn these battle lines, seemingly, between him and Triple H. And this match, really, for me, will be it'll tell the story of whether Cody is really that different from Triple H. In my opinion, Cody's got that reputation. He's over enough. He really doesn't need this win. And I think that with what they seem to have set out to do with AEW is bring exposure to these younger stars, these lesser known stars, and try and give them the rub and give them a bit of a push. And I just think that Darby should really, really go over in this match. And me and Gus are both predicting him, but Dan's going with Cody, and I could see that happening. Darby could put in a really good performance but end up getting beat by Cody, and I don't think, even if Cody beats him, he's basically set himself up as wrestling royalty now. So even if that happens, I don't think that it's going to, bury Darby Allin, but his promo on Road to Fyter Fest was so intense and intriguing. His backstory and the vibe that he puts out, it was just really, really captivating. So I really want him to get the win and, see him get a little bit more of a push. I don't want to see someone like Cody, one of the higher-ups, the EVPs, I don't want to see them getting the wins too much here, especially not over someone that has got a really, really good character and from all accounts is really good in the ring. So yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one, just because it's going to be should be a great match that I'm really, really excited for, but will also be really telling as to how AEW are actually going to do things. So yeah, Dan's going Cody, and me and Gus are going Darby Allin.
Good luck, bitches.
Those were my predictions for AEW's Fyter Fest. Hopefully, in the coming months, I can get a little bit more acquainted with this roster so I can make more informed decisions, because at the minute, it feels a little bit more like I'm guessing or being led by Road to Fyter Fest and Being the Elite. But yeah, in the coming months, hopefully I can make a little bit more of an informed decision. If you want to catch my Fyter Fest review, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you won't miss another episode of WITD. Good luck to you, Gus. Screw you, Dan. Right, guys, I'm off, and you should have a good one.